Okay, and I've been thinking about you, Cam, and we're going to do a few things that are going to definitely get the core active, but some of the same so that we can have some familiarity in our postures as well as progress. So,
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, friend. How's life treating you? Thank you much. It is very hot. Oh, there you go. That sounds nice. Let's turn this standings down.
Where should we be?
Where should you go? You could go wherever you would like. Yeah, you can create a group triangle. We can just, yeah, little stair steps. Cool.
Tattoos are so cool. Oh, thank you. I honestly have got a tattoo around. Yeah, that's how I always feel. Look at tattoos. I'm like, I forgot I have them.
If you're looking for another opportunity to get a tattoo, we have flash tattoos for our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, awesome.
So they'll be by Mockbod will be doing them on that day. It'll be $40. We have our designs that are so far going to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're in the drawer right here.
You created.
I did not create these designs. They
created
created them, and then there might be a few more that come out throughout the next.
So like
weeks.
AIMwell, like
Right?
really
Don't you love yoga?
Let's do
This
it.
is only yoga.
Yeah, right across the forehead.
AIMwell.
I want Bonnie's name.
Oh my gosh! Wow, I don't know about all that. We're gonna start standing today, and I hope that you all can see me.
Oh my gosh. I got you.
Thank you so much. Did I think about the joke after I put it on? Yes, but I was like,
This is
premeditated outfit.
What?
I know. All right, you all. Well, welcome. Some of us might know about Iyengar, others might not. So I'll just give our quick spiel. Iyengar is our classical style of yoga that requires us to really find body and breath by holding our postures for breath count rather than a vinyasa style flow where we're constantly moving up and down with body and breath. We will be really thinking about how our body feels in postures. That's part of the reason why we like to hold them for the breath counts, so that we can really get into our body rather than to just be moving on to the next thing and hopefully hoping that we got something out of that posture. Yeah, we're going to get into it just starting in our Tadasana. So just starting standing, feel as though you're arriving. It might feel nice to ground through the feet, maybe by picking up the toes and then placing them down one by one, really securing the grip of the ground with the heels. We'll start our practice with just 5 breaths. You might start with a long exhale, clearing out any energy. Then allow for your inhales to be just as long and patient, feeling the chest and the belly expand. Notice what energy you are carrying with you today. I am almost certain that we will be flowing during our solar eclipse this afternoon, so just let that be what it is for you. Some call solar eclipses a time for manifestation. If you're into astrology, it is Leo season with the solar eclipse, so there's a lot of fiery energy that you might be grasping and needing to call in. And we'll take another 2 rounds of breath here just to arrive in our body. Grounding today's practice in nonviolence to mind and body, we'll begin to step our feet out wide, coming into a straddle-like stance. We'll start with our Utthita Trikonasana, our triangle posture. We'll start with our right toes, turning right toes towards the white wall here. We'll look at the left toes and let them face the long edge of the mat. Beautiful. Remember not to lock out any joints throughout our practice. We'll extend both arms in a T. Your breath in, you'll hinge, leaning towards the right toes. Exhale, fall into that right hip. And just notice how this makes you feel. If you need a block underneath that right hand, you have the option to bring it there. And really focus on driving left shoulder back so that you're broad through the clavicle. The gaze can go up, out, or down. 6 breaths more, starting with your next exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Throughout this practice here, you'll be releasing a lot of things. Our hips here hold a lot of tension. And allow yourself to be fully expressive in what you need and what you're getting. Breathing in. Exhale. We're halfway through. Noticing what you feel along the inside of the right leg. A nice stretch through the hamstring and adductor muscles. Taking your final cycle of breath here. Nice. And exhale is going to pull you back up. Noticing the obliques on your left side. We turn the right toes back towards the long edge of the mat. Our left toes go towards the gray wall here. A breath in, long spine, and reach towards your left side. Exhale, hinging into the left hip. New side, new day. Allow for this to feel different. Same type of energetic reminders. We're pulling our top shoulder back, opening through our chest. Notice the extension through the side body and the stretch through the hip. 4 breaths more, taking your time. Beautiful job, beautiful breaths. Taking one final round in and out. We'll drive ourselves up the strength of our right side obliques, drop our hands to the sides. Now in traditional Iyengar, we have options to heel toe or to step, legs back together. Tadasana is kind of our rest moment, so allow for yourself to come back to your breath, back to your body after that posture. We're going to continue onward after another round of breath in and out. Beautiful. Same options to step or hop legs back into our open straddle. The steps just kind of get the blood going, you know what they say. Okay, we're moving into our Parsva Tita Trikonasana, so our twisted triangle. Same thing, we're going to turn our right toes towards the white wall. We'll start similarly, arms out in a T. Now option here, actually before we get our arms going, you might bring a block closer to you. It depends on how the lower back and shoulders are feeling today for the twist. So we'll start with our arms out in a T. Nice. We take one deep breath in. Your exhale, we helicopter the arms around. So now my left arm leads. Another breath in as we take a long spine. Exhale, we hinge down, crossing our forearm and the shin. Here's the option to bring the block under your left hand. Noticing any tightness along the back of your right leg. We use our right arm as a lever here to pull ourselves around, keeping a long spine, the crown of the head going towards your white wall. Beautiful job. 6 breaths here, keeping our left foot grounded. Deep breath in and out. While we're in this posture, notice any energetic changes. If you can, find the Mula Bandha and then contract through your bladder muscles, letting that bind, head up to the navel, your Uddiyana Bandha. These small energetic contractions help keep the spine long. Taking 2 more rounds of breath here. to rise. We gently drop the top arm, unwind through this, and meet back in this open leg posture. Yep, we've got a lot of weight in our heels and our feet, so it's always good to laugh and notice how that posture feels. We're gonna drop our arms here, turn the right toes back in line with the long side of the mat, carry your block or find your other block, bring it onto the top of the mat here, and our left toes go towards the gray wall. Beautiful. Arms come out to a T. Now we take a couple steps to get into this one, right? So inhale, long spine, exhale, helicopter arms. Inhale, long spine, linking the Mula Bandha. Exhale, we hinge down, crossing the forearm and the shin. You take a breath in, elongating the spine. Your exhale carries this twist using the top arm as the lever. These twists originate in the depth of our core and are really expressed through our thoracic spine, the upper back. So notice again, Mula Bandha, bladder muscles feel like they contract. Long spine, that's it. 4 more breaths here. Keep that back foot grounded. Nice. As you breathe, try for the expansion through the lower back. 2 more breaths. To unwind, we drop our top arm, begin to unwind through the torso, standing in the straddle shape. We can hop or heel toe, feet back together, Tadasana. Reclaim your balance, come back to your breath. Let that posture go, it doesn't define you. You're just noticing how it makes you feel. One more full round of breath here. Beautiful. We're going to move into our Virabhadrasana series, starting with Virabhadrasana 1. We'll step our feet out wide and turn towards the right wall, our right foot leading. Virabhadrasana 1 is going to engage our back toes, and they're going to go towards the long edge of your mat here. Nice. Let's bring our hands to our hips so we have some stability in our foundation. I want you to feel the shift of your hips going forward and then bend through the front knee. What you might feel once you find that bend is a long stretch in the calf and the Achilles heel. Find a slight tuck of the tailbone, keep the spine long, and then extend the arms overhead. Nice. We have 5 breaths here, starting with an exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Find your flow, 4 more. The longest breaths you can manage. Noticing what comes up in the body here. 1 more full round of breath. Once that exhale comes and goes, drop the arms, straighten the front knee, and rotate through your hips. We're going towards the gray wall this time. Our left toes lead. A reminder that our right toes are facing the long edge of the mat. Reason being is we want to have that knee protected so that the hip can go forward. Nice. Hands to the hips. Find that alignment to the front knee, bending through the front knee when ready. Notice the stretch in the back of the calf, of the back leg. Tuck the tailbone, extend the arms overhead. You'll start with an exhale as we embark on 5 breaths here, Warrior 1. Strong on this journey, as though you're an observer of your life right now. deep breaths, trusting that your body's got you 2 more full rounds. Beautiful alignment, everyone. At the close of your next exhale, dropping the arms, taking the hips back towards the front, towards me. We'll move towards our Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. We've got 6 breaths here. These first postures are really to warm up major muscle groups in our body. So we'll notice quads coming alive, shoulders coming alive, and then we'll get into some more nuanced postures. So Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. You'll notice that this is a hip shift. Hip is open here. We're going to bend through the front knee. Now, you can make this as powerful as you can stand. By taking the legs further apart, you're asking for a little bit more strength of the adductor muscles. What you want to sensationally feel is as though you're pulling the middle of the mat together with the heel of the front foot and the inside of the back foot. When ready, you'll tee out the arms. Still here, we've got a tuck of the tailbone, and we are creating length through our neck by driving the shoulders down. We gaze strong over our front hand. 6 breaths, starting with an exhale. Beautiful alignment. There's no rush in this breath. About 2 more rounds. At the close of the next exhale, straighten the front knee and drop the arms. We'll rearrange ourselves. The front toes turn towards the long edge of the mat as your back foot becomes the lead leg. Again, we're opening through this left hip here. A thing to consider when we bend the knee, we might look down. Can we see the inside of the big toe and the inside of the knee? If not, we can energetically pull the knee back towards the posterior side of the body. When ready, we tee out the arms, again tucking through the tailbone. Keep the core active. Exhale to begin. You have 6 rounds. Strong through the shoulders. Nice adjustment, just micro. Lengthen through the neck, depressing the shoulders. Nice job. Halfway through. That's it, Lauren. Noticing the stretch of the biceps. Small movements here. One more round of breath in and out. When the exhale comes and goes, drop the arms, straighten the legs, and we'll jump or step back to our Tadasana. Give yourself a couple moments to breathe here. Noticing again the feet, both of them flat on the ground. Taking 2 full rounds of breath. Virabhadrasana 3, our Warrior 3 is next. This is going to be our first single leg balance posture. I'm going to invite us all to turn towards the cream wall here, and we're just going to we're going to exchange which foot leads, okay? So we've got some options when it comes to Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. We can bring hands to the ground, kicking leg back. We can bring hands to a block, kicking and extending leg back with that dorsiflexion. This posture can continue to grow. Arms overhead, arms rest at heart center. We're going for 7 breaths here. So we're going to try and find stability. However, if toes start to dance, if you feel as though you have lost all control in breath, come down, regain, and then come back up. Every time we're balancing, find a drishti, one focus point. You can think of it like your goals. They typically start external and then they have to go internal. It's all within. When ready, we'll start with our right foot grounded. Feel free to use your accessories. No shame in setting up a firm foundation. When you're ready, you'll extend left foot back, again with that dorsiflexion, so the toes are going to be facing down. When we are in our warrior three, our hips are squared towards the ground. This posture asks a lot of our lower back and the quad on the base leg. So that right leg quad is going to really get worked here. 7 breaths. If you extend the arms overhead, notice the shift. The lower back asks more. Three more rounds of breath. Balance is patience in action. When the next exhale comes and goes, we stand back to Tadasana, hands come to the sides. Let that whole thing go. Release expectations, release any disappointments that you might be feeling. Our left foot gets squeezed this time, new side, new day. When ready, you'll ground the left foot. Really try and press into the inside of the foot and then the outside of the foot. You're going to grow by kicking the right leg back. You might feel different sensations on this side, that's okay. 7 breaths, starting with an exhale. Nice. Keep breathing even as you stumble. There's no point in being in a posture if you can't breathe through it. Two more breaths. We'll come to our Tadasana at the close of your second exhale. And we'll just turn our bodies back to face the eye. Option to clear out your mat. All right, first balance posture out the way. Shake it off. Again, doesn't define you. We're going to step or jump our feet further than hip distance apart. Moving into our Parskonasana, which is our extended side angle. It's going to feel like we're going back into warrior two. This time we're going to start activating the core as requested by a certain someone, no problems. I don't know, I can say no names, all right? So our right toes are going to face the white wall here. We're going to go for 7 breaths here. You are going to have options. So as I mentioned, it's going to feel as though we're going back to our warrior two. Your arms can start out in this T. I'll show you our options before we get started. For extended side angle, you can hinge into the right hip and bend through the knee, extending our left arm overhead. You can come to 6 and 12. You can come to 6 and whatever that would be, 10. Our core activator is going to be taking both arms overhead. Now, this is all evolution, right? So you can start here or here and then go, or you can start with both arms overhead. When you're ready, bend through the front knee. We're going to take 1 breath in. Your exhale is going to hinge the torso, and then you're going to find your arm placement. Take a breath in to start your 7 breaths here. The feet are doing and the legs are doing the same thing as we were in Virabhadrasana, activating the adductors by feeling as though we're pulling them back together through the middle. About 4 breaths more. Yes. The extension feels so good. Lock through the Mula Bandha, engage through the Udayana Bandha, the navel drawing in, rib cage hugging in. You've got it. 2 more breaths. Nice. 1 more. Pull yourself up, strengthening through your obliques, pressing through the heel of the foot, dropping the arms straight in the front knee. Beautiful job. We're going to go to the opposite side. Okay. Left foot gets to lead this time, which means right obliques really get a chance to shine. Same kinds of things. Bend the front knee, extend the arms. You know your options. We'll take a breath in. Your exhale hinges the torso down. Choose where you want to start with this next breath in. You have 7 rounds of breath. Nice. 5 more. Don't sacrifice your breath to try and make the pose more exciting. Your body is working. Two more rounds of breath. Nice. Good. We'll pull ourselves up, strengthening the right side obliques, dropping the arms. We'll come back to Tadasana, whether you want to hop or heel toe the feet together. All right. Beautiful. How are we feeling? Strong. Good. We'll move to Ardha Chandrasana. This is going to be peak balance posture. This is our half moon. We are going to have the option to use a block for our practice, and it's going to feel as though we are going right where we just were, which was the extended side ankle. So I'll show you some of our options here. Block can go in front of the toes, 6 to 8 inches or so. Again, feel like you're moving into extended side angle. You're leaning forward, you're bending that front knee. The hand can rest on a block lightly. The gaze is going to start down and the hips are going to start closed. When we get to our expression of baseline, we will feel the base hip open, the core contract, our shoulder pull back, and a slight back bend. That's when we know we're ready to move on. You might start by just hugging that top hand to the thigh. When you're ready to move on, shift where your eyesight is, from going down to going a little farther forward, and start to hug that base hand towards the thigh. From here, you might bring hands to heart center, arms overhead, and close with the gaze going up overhead. That's where I always get a little out. But that part, you gotta really move slow on that. If you are turning the head, move like you're trying to find a drishti each time the head moves another angle. We're going for 8 breaths here. So you have a lot of time to play. Things to consider. Thanks, Cam. Things to consider. We always find a dancing toe. We don't want that because our toes are going to be the foundation. They're going to kind of give your hips the idea of where to go. So if the toes start to dance, you can bet your butt that the hips are going to start to sway as well. So toes dance, bring that foot back down, regain balance, and then come back up. Okay? All right. Finding your entry point, whether it's hand on block or not. Remember, the pose really starts once the foot comes off the ground and you've got this slight back bend. 8 breaths here. Looking strong. Take your time. Press into the inner foot as we're lifting off. You got it, Willa. That's it, Cam. All right. Cam, focus on full shoulder back, not necessarily what our left foot is, okay? Keep breathing throughout the falls, throughout the entire lift off. Three more rounds of breath. Notice how your posture evolves if you want it to. Nice. you're ready, we'll land. Back foot comes down, come back up. We stand just to regain our balance. All right. Balancing always brings up something emotional, just even if it's the frustration of not being able to balance. So clear out the cache, allow for all that energy to escape as we start the other side. Taking another round of breath in and out. And we'll get started on the other side. Stepping left foot out. Again, it's going to feel as though you're moving into that extended side angle. Option for the block, option for not the block. You'll lean. I like to think about everything in my yoga practice as a glide, nothing forced. So I'm gliding forward. I'm gliding my right foot off the ground. I'm gliding my chest open. Taking your time, going for 8 breaths here, even as you stumble. You're breathing. Remember, we have a slight back bend, and at this juncture, your left hip is open. About halfway through, 4 more rounds of breath. Doing great. That's it. Shoulder. Nice. Stay right there. We'll begin our descend, bringing both feet to the earth. We'll move back to our Tadasana here. Great job. Go ahead, clear cache, take a few breaths into Tadasana, allow for yourself to feel what you felt, and then move on. About 2 more breaths here. Urdhva Astasana, arms extend up overhead. Notice the difference. Fingers extending different direction than the toes. Reaching as high as you can. Sinking weight into the heels. What are you manifesting and calling in at this juncture? We've got 2 breaths more. Utkatasana, your next exhale, we sit into our chair. We've got weight in our heels, arms remain up overhead. I want you to really focus on driving the hips back, looking down, making sure your knees do not go beyond the toes. So we've got weight in the heels, maybe even lifting through the toes. We're lifting through our sternum and the gaze is slightly forward. We're here for 7 breaths, sinking down, starting with an exhale. Breath in. And out. Nice. Keep breathing. Bring attention back to the root, the Mula Bandha, locking through those muscles, locking through the Uddiyana Bandha. 3 more breaths here. Hands can come to heart center if shoulders feel exhausted. Can you sink any lower? Last 2 breaths. You're strong. We stand. Inhale for your Tadasana. Beautiful. Uttanasana. We forward fold. Hinging down, keeping feet where they are. And I invite you to explore Uttanasana in a couple of ways. You can remain just grounded. You can find Pada Asta Asana, so bringing the hands under the toes. This is another elemental balance posture by lifting through the heels, sending the gaze forward.
You can also start practicing walking hands behind the heels and engaging in a deep tuck of the chin and the forward fold. Blocks are always an option if hands aren't necessarily grounded or you would like to find a little more ease. We have 5 breaths here. One more full round breath in and out. Beautiful. We'll take our hands to the earth, step our feet out wider than our hips, coming into our straddle forward fold. So keeping our inversion here in practice. Your hands can remain grounded for this first round, taking one breath into a halfway lift shape. Your exhale folds you deeper down, further engaging through the hamstrings. You've got options grabbing for the ankles. You can walk the hands again behind the body. If you have a headstand in your practice, this would be a great time to explore. We have 8 breaths here. Imagining the stress of life rolling off the back and out the head. Two more breaths here, noticing the engagement of the inner thighs, even through the stretch, to keep yourself upright. At the close of this next exhale, tabletop. Bringing us down a bit here, we'll move into our Ustrasana, which is our camel posture. If anyone would like a blanket that doesn't have one to pad the knees, this would be a great chance for that. We'll also have the invitation to bring a block between the thighs. This is a nice energetic reminder to keep the adductor muscles on. We'll start by standing on our knees here. Again, the option to bring a blanket under them is perfectly fine. You are doing great where you are. Our hands will start by coming to our back pockets, so our fingers facing down. And we'll begin by opening through the collarbone and slightly gazing up. Now, we find the engagement, especially if we have that block, in between our thighs. So there's a slight squeeze as we bring the hips forward. So pressing hips forward, keeping the collarbone open, and you'll engage in a little back bend. Every time we're in a back bend, the core is on. The lower back is getting a nice extension here. And the front core is protecting the lower back here. Now we have 4 breaths more. If you want to take the hands reaching for ankles or extending one arm up at a time for a breath or 2. Keeping hips going forward, keeping core active. Beautiful. One more round of breath in and out. At the close of this exhale, neutralize the spine. Just come back to your standing on the knees. Nice. Notice how your lower back feels. And we're going to swing our legs around, sitting on our bums. This is my favorite part of the practice. Our Paripurna Navasana, which is going to be our full boat. We'll start with our feet grounded. that's our half boat. Yep, our half boat. We'll start with our feet grounded. And you've got some options. I'll show you what this looks like if no one knows what I'm talking about. All right. So we typically start here. We'll send our torso back. Hands can come behind the head. When we're ready, we'll kick out both legs. Your eyes are gazing at the toes and they are on the same plane. We're holding this low half boat for 8 breaths if we can. If you can't, or if it becomes too much, you always can bring the feet back to the ground and keep yourself going back like so, or kind of pull yourself back up, okay? So you'll lean the torso back, option to bring the hands behind the head. We'll start with an exhale, kicking our legs out. We'll start, inhale, exhale, breath in, and out. You got it. Inhale and exhale, continuing to breathe. Breath in, that's it. Breath out, you're halfway through. Inhale, keep it up. Exhale, breathing through challenge. Breath in and out. 2 more rounds here. Feel the core contract. You get to know yourself here. What happens in the mind through challenge? Final round of breath. This exhale closes you out. Move into butterfly, bound angle, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. A moment of reprieve here. We've got one more. My friends, I'm laying down. We're moving into our full boat here, half boat. Man, I'm getting them confused. Ardha is full. Ardha is half. Moving into Ardha Navasana. No one knows what I'm talking about unless you study Sanskrit, but in my mind, it makes a lot of sense. Ardha Navasana, half boat, arguably a slightly easier version, is starting in what I call our self-compassion hug. So we'll take our heels off the ground and the toes are going to stay remaining on the earth, okay? When you're here, you're finding the balance point on the tailbone. You're shifting into a retraction of the shoulders, so long spine. We'll have 8 breaths here as well. When we're ready, we'll disconnect hands from knees and maybe bring knees to 90 degrees. You also have the option to bring the arms overhead and the legs up. You'll notice you've got a tighter V than before. So just notice how that changes the core engagement. So we'll start with a breath in. Your exhale, you'll find the first posture that you would like to start with in Navasana. Maybe it's open arms and knees at 90 degrees. You've got 8 breaths to evolve this pose. Take a breath in and out. Nice. Keeping the inner thighs contracting towards each other. Keep breathing. Breath in and out. We're halfway through. Breath in and out. You got it. 3 more. Beautiful. Final round. Breath in, strong, strong. Breath out. Back into back into bound angle. Option to take Supta Baddha, which is to recline into your butterfly posture. Every time you work your core, opening the knees out wide is going to help release any tension through especially the hip flexor area of our body. Nice. This class is never quite long enough for us, so we're going to start reclining back. And I give you the option here, if you need any twists, which is what we haven't gotten to in class yet, you might bring your knees into your chest and take a supine twist. If you don't need that today, feel free to rest where you are in a supine version, and we'll be in our Shavasana for the next few moments. Our Shavasana is the reason that we practice all these asanas in the first place, allowing for our meditation to come with a bit more ease. So give yourself a few more moments to reacquaint yourself with how your mind and body are doing this afternoon. Our yoga practice is an embodied practice. It teaches us lessons without us having to read about them. Lessons such as hard things coming to an end and being okay with that. Also lessons of pleasurable things coming to an end and being okay with that. This practice is something that you can carry with you at any time, at any phase, in any season of your life. And for that reason, it's just like a best friend with you through all the changes. Notice how today's practice felt for you. Any changes this season has offered you and how your practice has remained a friend. With curiosity and patience, we will begin waking our body. This might start with deeper breaths or gentle movements, swaying the head side to side or taking fingertips and toes, just bringing more movement to them. Bigger movements when it feels right. You might explore arms going overhead, arms crossing over the body, offering yourself love, compassion. We'll close our class today in a seated posture, making your way up at your own pace. Coming to Sukhasana, perfect pose, easy seats, so many names for being seated. But at the close of today's practice, I hope that you feel accomplished at the end of the day. Our shared breath will help us conclude. Then inhale, taking our arms overhead, reaching for a little peace, patience, joy, whatever else you're manifesting in this season. Sealing the hands, dropping hands down to heart center. I offer the reminder that you are doing the best you can on this journey. And the light in me sees and honors the light in you with love and grace. Namaste. All right, thank you very much. I feel like this class could be like 90 minutes. I want to make it through so many postures, and we just simply don't have enough time. But we'll kind of continue to progress. So I think I kind of shared with you, Cam, but this book, Light on Yoga, is the book that I typically am following with Iyengar. It has all the postures, and in the back it has courses. And so today we are really exploring week 16 and 17. So we'll kind of continue to progress. We'll take a step back for certain things that might feel more foundational, but then try to move forward onto some really cool, fun, exploratory things that also are going to work the body, but still keeping in mind a lot of core, because that's a huge component of just getting anything else done. So yeah, thank you. How are we feeling, David?
Like I need to get home and wait 2 days and then detox.
Yeah. Thanks for anyone else who's online. See you later.